Hello guys, Lightning Sane here, and today we'll be doing a review of Dragon Ball Z Broly, the movie. So I don't usually do this on my channels. I've never actually done a review of something and put it on YouTube. But I'm currently writer's blocked with what's going on with Legendary Super Saiyan Part 2. I've got to a little point now, I'm not sure where to continue. So I was thinking of ideas and, I like reviewing movies, I do it in my free time. And I thought, why don't I do a Harry Potter review? Then I thought, my name is Lightning Saiyan. I don't think that relates to Harry Potter. So then I thought of a movie that I have watched and I enjoyed, which is related to Saiyans. Which, DBZ Brody fits very well. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. So the movie begins on planet Vegeta 41 years ago. As the current Cold Force appeared on planet Vegeta, the music currently reflects the scene and gives hints to what's to come, also reflecting the characters of King Cold and Frieza perfectly. King Cold and Frieza landed in front of the Saiyans. The way Frieza looks and talks with the Saiyans shows how he feels towards them. The way King Vegeta sweats when looking at Frieza shows his nervousness. The way he bows shows that although he's King, Frieza is higher than him. The way that Frieza kills the Saiyans in the towers shows his brutality and elegance at the same time. Also, the way he uses others to prove his point, mainly about the Scouters, is amazing to show off his character, not caring about anyone. After this, King Vegeta enters the elite nursery. The way King Vegeta talks to his son Vegeta shows his pride in his son, especially for, as we later learn, breaking all records in Saiyan history. When seeing Broly, it throws him off to the way he sends him off world, shows his pride in Vegeta and in the anger of someone of not royal blood being stronger than someone of mainly his son Vegeta. This definitely shows how well the Saiyan hierarchy was back in those days. When Paragus learns of this, he enters the throne room. When Paragus mentions later in the conversation King Vegeta's jealousy, King Vegeta gets angry but doesn't show it, opting to threaten Paragus instead. Paragus then leaves the throne room, steals a ship with beads in, leading to Vampa. As Paragus and Beats searched for Broly, what they encounter shows how Vampa is deadly, and King Vegeta's jealousy to send Broly to such a deadly planet, obviously wanting to kill him. And then the movie proceeded to switch its perspective onto Bardock. The reasons for Bardock's suspicions of Frieza wanting to destroy planet Vegeta are much more reasonable from his other counterparts, mainly Dragon Ball Minus and the TV special Bardock. Bardock, after having his suspicions, he steals a space pod and puts Goku inside, or on planet Vegeta, Kakarot. Then the last lines Bardock and Guinea say slightly contrast each other. Bardocks are filled with the same nature, mainly survival, whilst Guinea, going against the natural Saiyan nature, mainly focuses on reassuring promises to Kakarot that they'll see each other again. From there, Bardock's last stand shows his Saiyan and warrior pride to keep fighting till his dying breath. Along with the music, this scene is amazing. It always made me cry when I watched Planet Vegeta get destroyed. From here, we look into the perspective of Vegeta after Planet Vegeta's, destruction due to Frieza, who, even after learning that the Legendary Super Saiyan, isn't real, still, just because he gathered his men, destroyed Planet Vegeta. Anyways, how young Vegeta keeps eating and doesn't care about anyone's death. Don't think he cares about him becoming king. This shows off his early character only caring about himself. From here, we have a time skip to after the Tournament of Power. I think this is done very well, having a mini recap to the fans who have watched or read the series, which should refresh their memories, but won't show what's happened so far to the people who haven't watched, since it being very, very brief. Next we see Goku and Vegeta fighting, which isn't too important. And now some points I want to make about this first scene. Vegeta, claiming his strength and motivation is Frieza, shows his resentment to Frieza very quickly and precisely. Also, I think Frieza's men breaking into Capsule Corp without anyone noticing is very stupid. Capsule Corp would have security cameras as shown with Trunks, and with its prestige and high value, they must have already had people who wanted to break in, and most likely would have someone monitoring the security cameras at all time, which would alert security and in turn Bulma, along with Goku and Vegeta, who could easily get there in time and beat them up. Also, this is the room with the Dragon Balls. You'd think they'd have some form of extra security, man. That's pretty garbage. Anyways, afterwards, I found, well, Bulma and Frieza's motivations for collecting the Dragon Balls, as we learn, funny and a little silly. From here, we have seen that ages took its toll on Paragus as they get rescued by Chi Lemon. Yeah, I'm not sure what his name was. Anyways, so far Chi and Broly's dynamic is cute, sort of like Tarzan and Jane. Later on, while Paragus and Broly are being introduced, Paragus is so hung upon his revenge that he's able to bluntly talk to Frieza about it without any such fear of Frieza or misstepping with his words. In the cafeteria later on, when Zon harasses Chi, Broly steps in and shows his insane-like heart, but at the same time shows his Saiyan rage, nearly killing the person. When Paragus shocks Broly to stop him from killing the Frieza soldier, it was very heartbreaking. No music, just the crackling of lightning and Broly screams. Also, I found it pretty funny when Chi just took that remote from Paragus, which would have consequences later on in the film, which we'll get into later on. From here, there isn't an awful lot to mention, other than the way Broly drinks water. It's very uncivilized, which carries on his Tarzan-esque persona. Later on, Frieza brings Broly to Earth to get the Dragon Balls, along with a good fight. In the end, Broly is commanded to fight Vegeta, which he does. During the fight, Vegeta being on the front foot, along with Broly's constant adaptations, makes Vegeta's portion of this fight spectacular. Also, the animation is just on another level. Honestly, when going into the movie, I never expected this sort of animation. Of course, it's an anime movie, but still, this type of animation is still pretty great. When Goku joins the fray, Broly's constant adaptations and already adapting to Super Saiyan God Vegeta puts Goku on the back foot quickly. But I think this is where Goku shines the most. Along the way, with Broly's constant transformations, you begin to ask, what's next? How strong can Broly actually get? Afterwards, after a long time, with Broly entering Ikari and such, Frieza kills Paragus, like Paragus killed Beats earlier on in the movie. which sends Broly into an unquenchable rage, which quickly turns Broly into the legendary Super Saiyan, or just regular Super Saiyan. He hasn't got green hair yet. Anyways, from here, after Vegeta and Goku try to beat Broly together, they end up putting Broly onto Frieza, and they flee to Piccolo, which I find actually hilarious and pretty much made me laugh a lot. Anyways, then Goku brings the option of fusion, but Vegeta does not want to do this and looks silly. But I have some qualms. At this point, Vegeta should be fine with fusion. Although he has to do, well, silly dances, he should be fine with this at this point. And combining bodies with Goku shouldn't be a problem. He did it during the Majin Buu saga, and he should have got to terms with it by now. But him doing it for his family and being guilt-tripped to do it because of them is a nice touch. And Gogeta's awesome. Also, how Broly just kind of punched Frieza and kept punching him was pretty funny to watch. Anyways, Gogeta enters the fray, saving Frieza from his humiliation. The two fight. I have to mention again the great animation, along with, well, the music. I found the music funny, but at the same time pretty great, as there were, I guess, hype men. I'm not exactly sure, but whatever they were, them screaming the characters' names was pretty hype and got me much more into the fight. Anyways, from here, Gogeta and Broly repeatedly fight until they do something like a dimensional shift during the middle of the fight. When they entered this dimension, it took me out of the fight for a little bit before my mind kind of just naturally synced back into the fight, when I realised that this was actually pretty cool. Them being able to somewhat shift dimensions just from their power shows how strong they are, reinforcing the two entities' powers. From here, Gogeta manages to beat Broly, nearly killing him, but Chila wishes Broly to be sent back to Vampa. Later, Chila and Lemon both go to Vampa. Frieza nearly shooting them down, but Gogeta stops them. From here, Frieza would leave. Gogeta would defuse to Goku and Vegeta. Then Goku went to Vampa and such, gave Broly the capsules and such. But then there's something a little interesting. I kind of like this part. We see Frieza at the end of the movie in his last scene talking. The speech, what he says, isn't important, but I think him ending another civilization so casually shows how many times he must have done this, and shows his heartlessness again, which has repeatedly been fleshed through in this movie, which I think is pretty great. Anyway, so that's the main body of the review done. But now here's the afterthoughts. So, I think this movie is a great movie, to be honest. It had some logical inconsistencies and isn't perfect, but I still think it's an amazing movie. The animation is off the charts. Along with, I love the music. Broly's theme is off the charts again. That is such a good theme. I mean, music is subjective, but I think that is a pretty good track. Along with the hype men tracks, as I'm going to call them, were pretty great as well. I love those. All in all, this is a pretty great movie, which shows off the characters quite a bit, and keeps it to a very small cast instead of like doing a Resurrection F and such, including the entire cast. Most not doing anything, basically becoming the Goku and Vegeta show, which I don't mind. It's just that all the characters were there, but then they never did anything, which was just a big waste of potential. But this movie went with the route of only including the necessary characters. Bulma, of course, due to knowledge of tech and getting them to the Dragon Balls and such. Goku and Vegeta, because they Goku and Vegeta, along with Broly and all the others. Most were streamlined and necessary to the plot, and all added something to the movie. If it was interactions, a good fight, I think this was pretty great. Anyways, so that's my review of Dragon Ball Z Broly. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my second video currently. Also, Gohan Legendary Super Saiyan Part 2. I'm hoping to get out by the end of the week. But if it isn't out, I'll try to upload a review of, Battle of Gods. Because I can make these very fast. And with the weekend soon approaching, or maybe when this video is released, it might be the weekend. But it should be on the Friday, I'm hoping. I'm hoping for this to be released for around 2 PM Friday-ish. Well, scheduling-wise, because I'll probably schedule it for then. But if it comes out later, or maybe earlier, just be on the lookout tomorrow, or Friday, as it might be. But, yeah. Without the way, like and subscribe, and lightning saying, out!